Hello there. Welcome to the Data Radio Show Holiday Specials. Well, I say specials, they're not really super special. I mean, everything we do is kind of special. You know what? I'm just rambling. Here's what's going on. Over the holiday period, we're going to be releasing content every day that's been created by Notebook LM, which is a tool that Google has that basically takes a whole bunch of information and finds a way to disseminate it in a really simple way for people to understand and then present it as a podcast. So we're giving it a bit of a test based on our Data Pro newsletter, which is completely free to sign up to. You can do that. It's in the description down below if you haven't done so already. So we've taken our newsletters from throughout the year and we've created these podcast episodes using Notebook LM. It's a really fascinating experience to see how they differentiate the information that's in there. So have a listen, see what you think of it, and don't forget to subscribe, share, tell everybody about what's going on, but also make sure that you spend some time to yourself these holidays and enjoy the season. We'll be back soon with some fantastic new episodes, but until then, check out this one.
All right, so today we're going to be diving deep into data engineering.
Oh, cool. In
And
2024.
yeah, in 2024. But not just any year. This is, kind of the year where AI tools are becoming like absolute must-haves for data engineers, not just nice-to-haves.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're seeing it everywhere.
Right.
And it's not just theory anymore, right? It's like, how do we actually use these tools to get work done?
Exactly. And that's what's so cool about the article that we're going to be diving into today. It's from datapro.news, and it's called 5 AI Prompts to Boost Productivity for Data Engineers.
Catchy title.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
And really, it's all about working smarter, not harder.
Right. Yeah. So it lays out, specific AI prompts that you can start using today to really boost your efficiency as a data engineer. So should we jump right in?
Let's do it.
All right. So the article highlights 5 key prompts, and each one targets a different data engineering task. And they're all like kind of pain points that data engineers deal with all the time.
Yeah, for sure. So the first one is data schema suggestions. Like, imagine you're starting a new project. You need to design a schema. It can be, a real head scratcher.
Oh yeah, you're staring at a blank screen trying to figure out the best way to structure your data. It's not easy.
It's not easy at all.
Yeah.
But with this AI prompt, you can actually get the AI to suggest an efficient schema for your specific use case. And they even give you a pro tip in the article. It says to start your prompt with, you are an expert in data engineering, data warehouse architecture, and data modeling.
Well, that's a good one. So you're basically setting the stage for the AI, telling it exactly what kind of expertise you need from it.
Yeah, so it's almost like having an AI consultant on your team.
Right.
I like that. And speaking of consultants, let's move on to prompt number 2, which is all about feature engineering. Now, this is something that can be notoriously time-consuming, right? Totally. You're trying to figure out which features are actually going to make your model more accurate. It's a lot of trial and error, a lot of experimentation. But this AI prompt can potentially help you identify those key features much faster.
Potentially save you a ton of time. The article actually gives a great example of how to use this prompt. It says, I want you to act as a data scientist and perform feature engineering. I'm working on a model that predicts customer churn. There are columns, a customer ID, age, subscription type, etc. Can you suggest features that we can engineer for this machine learning problem?
Yeah, it's a really practical example.
It is. It shows you exactly how to frame the problem and what kind of information to give the AI to get those suggestions. So really helpful.
Totally. Okay, so moving on to prompt number 3.
All right, what have we got?
This one's all about data transformation code generation. And, we all know how much time can get sunk into writing those Python scripts or SQL queries to move data between different schemas.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's like, you have to do it, but it's not always the most exciting part of the job.
Right. But this prompt can potentially generate those scripts or queries for you,
Yeah.
which could be huge.
Yeah, I mean, that's the dream, right? Just tell the AI what you need and boom, you've got your code. Although the article does point out that you shouldn't expect perfect zero-shot code. You'll probably need to do some tweaking.
Yeah. They're very careful to say that.
Yeah.
Like, don't expect the AI to do all the work for you. It's more of a starting point, but even if you have to fine-tune it a bit, it can still save you a lot of time and effort. And they actually have another great tip. They say if the code isn't quite right, you can tell the AI to, suggest ways to improve your query or code.
Ah, that's smart. So you can use the AI as a sort of code reviewer, almost, help you debug and optimize your code. I like that.
Yeah. Okay, so prompt number 4 is all about data quality measurement because, bad data is the ultimate productivity killer.
Yeah. Nothing worse than spending hours working on a project only to realize the data's all messed up.
So this prompt is designed to help you assess the quality of your data, suggesting relevant metrics and methods. It's like having a data quality watchdog, always on the lookout for potential issues.
I like that analogy. Always good to have a watchdog on your team, right? Especially when it comes to data quality. Okay, so what about the last prompt? What's number 5 all about?
All right, so prompt number 5 is all about model deployment, which again can be a tricky process.
Yeah, definitely. There are so many things to consider, like model versioning, A/B testing, monitoring. It can be a bit overwhelming, to be honest.
Right. But this prompt focuses on best practices for model deployment.
Mm.
So you basically describe your model to the AI, and it can give you tailored recommendations.
Mm-hmm.
And they have another helpful tip here. They say to try including your specific production environment in the prompt, or even asking for alternative deployment options with their pros and cons.
Oh, that's a good one. So you're basically getting personalized deployment advice from the AI, taking into account your specific circumstances.
It's almost like having a dedicated deployment strategist on your side.
I like it. So these 5 AI prompts are super useful, but the article actually goes beyond just individual tools, which is interesting.
It does. It introduces something called the 100-day data engineer, which is a self-directed learning plan for aspiring data engineers. And I think what's really interesting about this is it suggests that AI isn't just changing the way we work, it's also changing how we learn.
Yeah, that's a really interesting point. And what I like about this 100-day plan is that it's not just about cramming theory. It actually integrates theory, hands-on practice, and even community engagement. It's very well-rounded.
Yeah. It actually reminds me of how a lot of big tech companies onboard new engineers, right? It's
Yeah.
not just about the technical skills, it's about building that practical experience and, a network of people to learn from and collaborate with.
Exactly. It's about the whole package. And the plan is broken down into 5 stages.
Okay, let's hear about them. What's stage 1?
So stage 1 is called laying the groundwork, and it focuses on, building that foundational skill set. Things like SQL, Python, data modeling, the core building blocks. It's all about creating a strong foundation.
Got it. So, like getting those fundamentals down.
Okay.
What about stage 2? What comes next?
So stage 2 is called deepening your expertise. And this is where the focus shifts to like daily practice, right? So you're honing your SQL querying skills, you're getting really comfortable with Python scripting, you're diving deeper into data warehousing, really building that solid technical foundation.
Yeah, it sounds intense.
It is, but it's necessary. And then stage 3 kind of takes it a step further with project-based learning.
Oh,
So this is where you actually apply those skills to real-world data sets
got it.
and start creating like tangible outputs like dashboards or, whatever it might be. It's that learning by doing element that's so important.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you can read all the theory you want, but until you actually get your hands dirty and start building stuff,
Mm-hmm.
it's not going to really sink in, right?
Exactly.
Okay, cool. So that's stage 3. What about stage 4?
Stage 4 is all about tool mastery and technological fluency.
Oh, okay.
So here, you're exploring and mastering a range of industry standard tools, right? From like Snowflake to Docker to, various cloud solutions, basically becoming fluent in the language of data engineering tools.
Okay, so it's kind of like you've got the foundation, you've got some experience under your belt, and now you're really starting to specialize.
Exactly. And then finally, stage 5 kind of brings it all together with a capstone project and community engagement.
Ah, okay. So this is where you like design and execute a project that showcases everything you've learned, right? Using the data sets and tools of your choice.
That's it. And, that emphasis on community engagement is really key here. So you're sharing your work, you're getting feedback, you're learning from others. The article even encourages you to, join the Data Innovators Exchange, which is a community specifically for data enthusiasts.
Oh, cool. I haven't heard of that one.
Yeah, it seems like a really valuable resource for anyone on this, data engineering journey. And it's amazing to see how like these lines between learning and professional development are becoming increasingly blurred, especially in a field like data engineering.
Yeah, totally. It's like
Wow.
you're never really done learning, are you?
Never, never. And speaking of blurring lines, there was something else in this article that caught my eye.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that ad for an AI marketing masterclass?
Yes, it definitely stood out. Like, what was that doing in an article about data engineering?
Right. But I think it speaks to the fact that this AI wave is impacting all sorts of careers, not just technical ones.
Yeah, for sure. Like we're seeing it in marketing and writing and art and music. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is. And I think it highlights how these tools and learning resources are becoming more accessible, which is great. It's opening up opportunities for people to, upskill or even switch careers entirely. It's a fascinating trend,
It is. It is. So after diving into all of this, what stands out to you the most?
honestly. What strikes me is how practical this article is. It doesn't just talk about AI in some abstract sense. It gives you concrete tools and strategies you can actually start using today.
Yeah. They.
And it really got me thinking about the future of data engineering, like
Mm.
where is this all headed?
Yeah, for sure. It definitely paints an interesting picture of what's to come.
It does. Like, if AI tools become as commonplace as this article suggests, it could fundamentally change the skill set needed to succeed in this field.
Yeah, I think that's a really crucial point. Like, we might see a shift away from purely technical skills,
Yeah.
right? And more emphasis on things like prompt engineering, AI model evaluation, and even asking questions about the responsible use of these tools.
Absolutely. I mean, it's not just about being able to code anymore.
Right.
It's about understanding how to work with AI, how to leverage it effectively, and, how to do it ethically and responsibly.
Yeah. It's almost like the role of a data engineer is evolving into something like a data conductor, someone who orchestrates and manages these powerful AI tools to get the best results.
I love that analogy. Data conductor. That perfectly captures it.
Right.
It's not just about the technical execution anymore. It's
Yeah.
about the strategy, the vision, the leadership.
Totally.
And that human element is also what stood out to me in that 100-day learning plan, right? It's not just about learning in isolation. It's about connecting with the community, sharing your work, and, learning from others' experiences.
Yeah, that community aspect seems to be a recurring theme here for sure. And the article really reinforces that with that call to action to join the Data Innovators Exchange.
Yeah, exactly. Having that network of support and shared knowledge can make a huge difference, especially in a field that's evolving as rapidly as data engineering.
Totally. Which brings us back to that AI marketing masterclass ad. You know,
Yeah.
it really makes you wonder if AI is already making waves in marketing, what other fields are ripe for this kind of disruption?
It's the big question, isn't it? And I don't think anyone has a crystal ball that can predict the future with 100% certainty.
Right.
But it does seem like any field that involves, repetitive tasks or relies heavily on data analysis is potentially going to be impacted in a big way.
Yeah. I mean, we're even seeing AI being used in creative fields now, right?
Mhm.
There's AI generated music, poetry, even artwork. Both exciting and a little bit daunting, to be honest.
Oh, absolutely. It's like, on one hand, these tools have the potential to free us from those tedious tasks and allow us to focus on more creative and meaningful work, right?
Yeah.
But on the other hand, there are valid concerns, like questions about potential job displacement, for example. It's a complex issue.
It is. It is.
And that's why it's so important to have, open discussions about the implications of AI,
Mhm.
to think critically about how we want to shape its development and use.
Yeah, absolutely. We need to be proactive and intentional about how we integrate AI into our lives and our work rather than just passively letting it happen to us.
Couldn't agree more. And I think that starts with education.
Education, yeah.
The more people understand about AI, its potential benefits and its limitations, the better equipped we'll be to navigate this, new landscape.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
Articles like the one we're discussing today are so valuable in that sense. They demystify AI and make it more accessible to a wider audience.
Yeah, and they empower people to take control of their own learning and career development rather than feeling like they're at the mercy of these technological forces.
Right.
It's about recognizing that we have agency in shaping this future.
Yeah, that's a good point. So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to go back to something you mentioned earlier, this idea of the data engineer evolving into a data conductor. What kind of skills and qualities, besides the technical ones, do you think will be most essential for success in this new role?
That's a tough one. There are so many, but I think communication skills are going to be huge.
Communication.
Yeah, like being able to explain those complex technical concepts to, people who aren't data engineers, to collaborate with different teams, to, really articulate those risks and benefits of using AI in different situations.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So it's about bridging that gap between, like, the technical world and the business world.
Exactly. And I think problem solving is going to be even more critical. As AI takes over those routine tasks, We'll need to be able to solve those complex problems that require, like, creative thinking and a deep understanding of the data.
Okay, so it sounds like adaptability, critical thinking, and like a healthy dose of curiosity are going to be key for those future data engineers.
Absolutely. Like the ability to learn quickly, to embrace new technologies, and just to, stay ahead of the curve.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I imagine that curiosity extends beyond just the technical stuff, right? Like
Yeah.
there are those ethical considerations and societal implications we need to think about.
Totally. We can't just focus on the tech. We need to have those conversations about responsible AI development. Consider the impact on jobs and society as a whole.
It's about building a better future for everyone, not just building smarter systems.
Exactly. It needs to be a holistic approach, considering both the technical and the human side of things.
This has been a really insightful deep dive. For our listeners who want to explore this world of AI for data engineers more, where should they start?
Well, there's tons of resources online if they want to try out those AI prompts, check out those popular AI coding assistants. And if they want to dive deeper, there are so many great courses and tutorials on AI and machine learning.
And of course, there's the Data Innovators Exchange.
Yeah, connecting with others in the field is so valuable.
So, as we wrap up, what's the one thing you want listeners to take away?
I hope they come away excited about the future of data engineering. AI is a powerful tool. It can transform how we work and solve problems. Embrace it, stay curious, and, you can really shape the future.
That's a great note to end on. The future is what we make it, and data engineers have an incredible opportunity to be at the forefront of this whole AI revolution. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Until next time, keep learning, keep experimenting, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible.